Hey everybody, how are you? It's Donnie from Passover Listings. How are you? We have less than 2 months to go until Pesach. Questions, feel free to put any questions in the comment section, and we will help you out with any questions you have. Bear with us for 1 minute here. Just trying to get them on the live here.
Hey,
Here we go.
what's going on?
Okay, we're on.
Hamra,
Abraham,
Hamra.
is
Yeah?
it Hamra or Hamra? I don't. How do you pronounce it? Hamra.
No,
Okay.
New
Okay.
York, New
In
York.
Los
Strong New
Angeles,
York.
right? As
Brooklyn, it
well.
used to be
Oh, New
Brooklyn, New
York.
York. It used to
3
be, now great.
hours. Brooklyn, New York. Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah, for sure.
Hazel,
How
good
you
to put a
doing?
name to a face. Finally, this is great. No,
Very good. So honestly, we were
good,
speaking
good. How
the
you
other
doing?
week. I called you and we thought this would be a great idea. I called you out of curiosity about programs and come on, let's discuss this. I'm like, yeah, for sure. How's everything?
No, it's such an interesting. People, that don't go on Pesach programs, right? That have so many questions and like, what are they really getting themselves into? It's an unbelievable thing. So like. Have you been on a
I have
program before?
never been on a Passover. I have been away on Pesach, and it's not easy to go away without a.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So where have you gone away? What's your go-to spot? Is it Florida or is it overseas? Israel, Europe?
We've been to
I
Florida
can't
for
hear
Pesach,
you.
of course.
Losing. There you
There you go.
go. Okay, Florida. Yeah, I feel like that's the go-to. Everyone goes. There's a lot of people that just love to go down. It's easy. It's
It's
close,
amazing.
especially from
It's
New York.
amazing. Me and
It's
my
a
family
3-hour flight.
went, and I remember the
Yeah.
last time we went, it was during COVID. We decided to take a road trip down to Florida for Pesach. We thought it'd be a brilliant idea. We stayed in a hotel with a kitchen, the whole 9 yards. We koshered
Yeah.
it. It was Gehenna, just trying to get everything in order. By the time we got everything, you're looking
Yeah.
for a place to pray. And for me, remember I told you the first question I had was, I need a Sephardic minyan where I can pray. I need to feel the holiday. And it completely went over me. I didn't feel Pesach.
Yeah.
And I got very turned off for going away for Pesach, honestly,
Right.
until to programs
Yeah.
like don't write it off altogether. It's a completely different experience when you go to a program.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of programs, even if it's an Ashkenaz-based program, they'll have a Sephardi minyan, which is really nice, uh, and vice versa. Even if it's Sephardi, they'll have Ashkenaz. So the nice thing is, you get they cater to many different types of business, make it spiritual, uplifting for the person. I went away last year to Glasgow with and for a bunch of great bunch of Ashkenaz. They had for both, which was really cool, which was really. But tell us a little bit
Is
about
it
you.
my
So,
Instagram or are you breaking up?
you're a lawyer.
I, I can barely hear
Can
you.
you hear
Your
me?
video's in and out. Very staticky. Could be me. Here you
I
go. I
hear
see you and
you,
hear you better.
but
Yes.
let me see if that's
Yes.
better. Is
Much,
that
much better.
is that better? Okay. Okay. Wow. I'm gonna put a. There we go. So tell me. So you're a lawyer by trade, and then you got into this like
Yeah.
what do
So,
you do on? I mean, what's your
yeah.
background here?
So I'm a
And I
lawyer by
see you
trade.
put out
And
some
then
really cool
around
content.
2021, when the war broke out in Israel the last time with these behemoth Hamas, one of our Jewish, community members, not my community member, but he's in New York. I consider everybody brothers and sisters, all of us. We're all part of the Jewish community. He was in the city on Times Square, and he was like viciously beaten down by 5 pro-Palestinian protesters. It sparked something in me. Seeing
Oh my
his,
gosh.
perpetrators walk free, I'm like, I have to speak out. I truly have to speak up.
Yep.
And I started talking out just based on my experiences as a Jew who was born in Damascus to this anti-Zionism. So we really, that really kind of started my whole activism. And while doing it for the past 2 years, I
Yeah.
obviously run my practice currently, something I do on the side because it's an issue I truly believe in. I started really good people along the way. And now I'm actually shifting a little bit, right? I still am speaking and I'm very, active. I'm an activist against anti-Semitism, against Israel. But I also feel like it's important to expose the world what my type of Judaism is, my orthodoxy is, right? It's not what everybody understands it to be. And so I'm trying to inject that into my everyday page. And so one thing I want to kind of try to break in this country, and people may take it wrong, is the classifications of
Yeah.
Jews, right? I feel it's so important that non-religious Jews
I
don't
see.
have to re-identify themselves as something otherwise, right? And ultra-religious don't have to say they're ultra. My goal is that
Yeah.
we should all be Jewish. We should all be
Absolutely.
together. And that's really, that's where
I
my
love that.
Instagram is starting to go, because after fighting these anti-Semites, we need to talk to each other and build stronger futures and stronger children, stronger
Yeah.
communities.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And so I love that. So basically, you're saying is we're all Jews. It doesn't matter what sect, how religious you are, how not religious you are. At the end of the day, right? You are, we should be kind to everybody, no matter what, which is amazing. And you're trying to kind of showcase that. Are you doing that like in different ways? Like, are you speaking at different schools and synagogues or congregations or like, how are you
Yes.
kind of
Yeah,
bringing
I've
the
been
message,
speaking.
which is an amazing message?
I've been speaking, and now
Can you hear me?
you're breaking in and out. You're very static for some reason. I'm not sure if it's.
Maybe 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 try
That's what
without
I'm
the
gonna do.
headphones,
That's
because
what
sometimes the headphones
I ha-
put me on
I have
put me
4
on
kids, so
speaker
I apologize
because
if there's some
I
noise in the
hear,
background.
yeah. No, it's fine. Don't worry. All good. All good. We
Here you
know that
go.
drill
Probably better
all
now.
the time.
It is much better for
There
me.
is that better? I can hear you. Yeah, you can hear me better a little bit. Okay, good. So I was just asking, like, where do you speak? Where do you kind of get the word out? Is it mostly like at synagogues, and and how do you like what do you try to convey to people who don't really like understand this? Because I speak to people all the time, they don't get it, right?
So
Some of this
I
stuff that we're
speak in
talking about.
synagogues. I speak. I've spoken at many synagogues. I've spoken at many different events that decide to invite me. I have a speaker. The one place I love to speak are to young adult events, kids who are going to college, high school students, because I truly believe we haven't instilled within our children the true skills of advocacy.
Yeah,
I've litigated for over 10 years. I
yeah,
know how to litigate. I know what persuasion looks like. And I'll be very honest, the way we handle advocacy as a Jewish community hasn't been the strongest or the most effective basis. For instance, we're very people. We should never.
how do you think we handle advocacy as Jewish people? Like, what's your take on that?
We
How
have
do we
this
handle it?
idea that if we are not totally honest, if we can sugarcoat the truth enough, that people will love us, that people will come around to understand we're not this evil
Hmm.
monster that the other side is portraying us out to be. And so instinctively, automatically, you're
Right,
already on the defensive. And if anybody's ever seen Law and Order, the
right,
defendant's always guilty in your head, right? Like nobody goes, okay, this guy's definitely innocent. And so when you're
right,
responding from a defensive
right,
standpoint, you're done.
right,
I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult to counter any points, and the burden's
right.
not on us. Why do we take it? But more than that, it's connecting. It's connecting with
I
people. It's really trying to now is to show people how to truly live as prideful Jews, and it's something that's really needed.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. The question is, there's a lot of anti-Semitism going around on Jewish campuses, right? As you know, right? Even in, I live in Los Angeles. Even just a couple of days ago, right, in San Diego, right? You heard about that. I mean, but there's so many people
Yeah.
and friends that are scared out there, right? I mean, what do you tell those people that are scared out there? Which is unfortunate, right? Because to your point, we got to stand up and fight, and also, be respectful. So how do
The
you
fear
change
is
that message a little bit?
legitimate, but it's an emotion, and usually fear people overcome fear as communities, right? So the number one rule, and this is whether it's Pesach programming, whether it's vacationing, whatever. Our community, my Syrian community, for instance, we love to go together. We go to Aruba together. We go to together. The idea is alone. You
Yeah.
don't feel self-conscious about what you stand for. And
Right.
so how do you make them not scared? You
Right.
can't. It's a real fear that they have. There's real anti-Semitism. But what you can do is instill power to
Right.
stand up to who they are and to know that they're part of this beautiful community. That's really the only way to be able to fight back and
Yeah.
to really help our children fight back against this anti-Semitism.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It's crazy. Like, I'm in the, in the Pesach industry, Passover industry. There's a lot of speakers and scholars and even soldiers, coming to these Pesach programs and speaking, about this, and I think this year is going to be an amazing, amazing, inspirational and close-knit year for a lot of Jews to come together, at these programs, and I think it's going to be great. And I know, like, one of your right goals here is to be kind of be part of that, right? To be part of that spiritual, uplifting achdut, right, connection, right, amongst other Jews, which is amazing, right? And I think it's like an important goal, right? Because you want to have that that connection, right, and not just kind of go and enjoy, the luxuries and the food and this and that, but you want to kind of feel a little bit more, right? So, in a perfect world, from your standpoint, maybe not having been on a program before, like, what's your goal? Like, what are you trying to get out of a Pesach, at a Passover? Like, where are you trying to, like, what would be success for you coming out of, May 1st, Pesach ends? You're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Like, what's for you, like, the ultimate
Listen, I mean,
success?
I remember I told you the first, there's two things that were very important to me. One was the tefillah, the food is number two, which is very important and very real. Um,
Right.
and the third thing that was important to me and that I asked you
Right.
was specifically which programs have, Israel and anti-Semitism training, speakers, events. To me,
Mm,
it's hard to go away and to completely disconnect from what's going on in Israel. It is
yeah.
our brothers
Right.
literally are out there fighting, and what are we doing, right? Okay, we're away. It's
Yeah.
luxurious. It's beautiful, and it's sometimes we need the vacation. I mean, hell, I need the vacation too, right? But
Yeah.
what do we do? What more
Go
are we
home. Yeah.
doing? And I saw it as a great opportunity to bring my kids or to
Yeah.
go to a program where there's many other Jewish kids and to really try to unify
Mhm.
around that holiday
Yeah.
where it's all about Geulah. If I was looking for
Yeah.
one thing to get out of it, for
Yeah.
my kids to leave with knowing new people, new friends, to understand different types of people and how they handle their traditions, their Pesach traditions. It's the joy of
Right.
knowing each other and getting closer with
Well,
each other. That's what I'm really looking for. And at the same time, being inspired and learning about
yeah.
Israel and learning about different ideas and how to fight anti Semitism. I mean, I'd love to listen and speak.
Yeah. 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 No, it's great to know. I mean, when you go on these programs, right, it's exactly that. It's about learning about not only meeting new people, which is, the number one reason why people do go away, of course, to be with their families, but they love meeting. You always meet new people out there, right? You're bound to
Yeah.
meet. There's 800 Jews in one hotel. I mean, if you don't meet people, what are you doing, right? What are you doing? You're right in the sense, the culture aspect on this it's unbelievable. When you go away for Pesach, yes, the food's amazing, the hotel's amazing, the amenities, but the speakers, to your point, there's going to be a ton of speakers this year and many programs in Europe, all over the States and Mexico that are going to be speaking, about what's going on in Israel and how we can, join and really protesting, but in a positive way, right? And like you mentioned earlier, right? And how do we do that? And honestly, the culture is amazing. I mean, I went away last year and the years prior, and there's so many people that you learn from, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a cool tradition. This is a different tradition, right? What are they doing over here? What are they doing over there? And you kind of just you see so many new things that maybe you haven't experienced before. Because everyone, I look at this Ashkenaz, this Sephardi. We talk about people who are more religious, people who are less religious. All good. We're all Jews, but we're all learning from one another and all kind of like giving back, which is really cool. Which is what I love, and I know you
100%.
love this too. So that's really cool. Yeah, I think there. Yeah. And I think there's a program for you too. I think you'd give, again, I think there's a lot out there. I think you give a lot. I think your message is really big right now, in terms of like what we want to see, which is great. So really excited to kind of see what we can
Yeah,
do to
find
help you out
find the
and
right
get you
program
get
for
you
my
out there
family
on
to
a good
book.
program.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's important.
Absolutely.
It's immensely important. I mean,
Absolutely.
it, I want look. My wife and I we spoke about it. We were going back and forth as to whether we wanted to go away this Pesach, and whether it may be, just the appearance of it. Like, why aren't you donating? Why aren't you giving more? But we've given a lot, and thank God, Baruch Hashem, we definitely have to do more. But I think we're coming back to the same idea. Is the last major holiday we had, we were slaughtered together. Simchat
Hmm.
Torah on October 7th. This is the next major holiday. And I want to be with a large, gathering of Jews again to show the world we're not scared, right? We're together. We're celebrating our holidays again. We're going to continue
We're not scared.
celebrating our holidays
Exactly.
beyachad. And it's really, really just, sorry. That's something that I truly would, that's why we're considering going to Pesach
Yeah.
program this year.
Yeah. 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 We get it all. Tons of people that come. Should I go away this year? Should I stay home? Israel. I usually go to Israel. I usually not go to Israel. Where should I go to Europe? And people, but I think you hit on the nail. I mean, we always say, look, there's one thing that you can do. Look, you can stay home. You don't have to spend. They're not cheap programs. They're expensive programs, right? You're going away. People save up all year round. But I think Abraham, like what you said about being together with other Jews and being in that hotel, right, for 10 days, right, and enjoying each other's company and learning from one another spiritually, religiously, and having that connection. You're right. I mean, this is the next big
Yeah.
holiday. We should do that, right? Like, if you can,
100%.
do it, right? Why not, right? This is the time to do it. This is actually the perfect time to do it versus just, decide whether or not, I'm the same way, in that same boat. I would love to, spend as much time as I can with as many, as my other fellow Jews as possible. So I echo
So
that.
can I ask you a
It's a
question about
great point. I love
Pesach
that.
away on a program? I'm very curious. How in the
Yeah,
Seder
go
done,
ahead.
right?
Yeah,
There's a big, I have a
absolutely.
big Seder in my house. Everybody does the Seder some different way. How is it done in a program? Is it one major
Yeah.
Seder with everybody, or is it just multiple different rooms? Definitely.
It's one of the most fun questions I get asked a lot, and it's a really cool question, and I'm going to give you a really interesting answer for this. So the Seders out there, okay, you can have a Seder, like a private Seder, in a room with just your family, right? And you'll pay a little extra for that. Or you can have a Seder in a semi-private, right? So maybe you'll have a Seder in a hallway with a couple other families, right? Not just yours. Or you can have a Seder, which is typically, right, in a huge dining
Oh,
room
wow.
of a couple hundred families, right? And everyone's doing their Seder at different times. Well, obviously they start the same time, but, everyone's doing it in their speed, right? And you're seeing all the different traditions. where people get up on chairs and
Oh,
I think I
I've
saw
never
a
seen that.
hitting
That's
them
very
with
cool.
leaves and stuff like that, or yeah. And then there's another, family singing and just getting into it, and just, and there's another family just, doing their thing, right, and having a good time. And there's another seder that's led by an interactive seder leader, right, where there's a leader
Oh,
like interactively getting everybody involved. And there's another seder where everyone's dressed up, right, like all the different characters. So it it really depends on the program you go to, but more often than not, most of the people are in the same dining room and doing their seder with everybody, right? It's really cool. It's really unique
that's
and really cool.
cool.
It's really fun too. It's a lot of fun. It's like people thought like, oh, I can't hear you, but when you're around the table and you're getting into it, everything else is just noise. You're
Right.
really kind of entrenched
I
in it, which is
guarantee
really
you've
cool.
never
It's a lot
seen
of
that.
fun.
My old Seder, back when we
Yeah.
first came from Syria, we used to do the Seder twice. The first time we do it in Hebrew, and after you finish the Hebrew, you say it in Arabic. So we used to do the whole Seder in Arabic and
Oh
in
wow.
Hebrew.
Wow.
I promise you probably never seen that on a program, right? May scare away a few
Never seen
people.
that. And did did you have different people? Like
No,
did you
no,
invite
it's
different people
one
for the different
seder, both
Sederim? So like
nights.
people
So it'd
who
be
like,
my whole family. Really, it would be my dad,
huh,
his brothers, my everybody, and we'd sit there. We say the prayer,
yeah,
Avadim Hayinu in Hebrew, and then we'll say literally the same exact paragraph, but
yeah,
translated into Arabic. So the actual Haggadah we had was in Arabic and in
wow,
Hebrew, and so it's a beautiful, and it really meant for everybody to understand. I mean, that's the whole point of a Seder. It's the whole point of Pesach, is that everybody understands it. So it was a
yeah,
tradition that carried
yeah.
on in Syria, and it was moved over with
I
us here. Yeah, it was
love
beautiful.
that. I love that. Yeah. No, it's cool because what we do. You just jogged my memory. We have two Siddharim too, right? And so the first Seder, we always invite people. I grew up modern Orthodox, but I have a lot of friends who are the conservative, the Reform, or other sects of Jews, but they don't do a long Seder that we get into. So we invite them for the first Seder every year. The second Seder we do ourselves just close to the family. But what's really cool because you kind of get other people, right? That maybe I always love that, where people may have not done Siddharam in the past, or people have not experienced the Seder. It's such a cool experience for those people, like to get them more entrenched and involved in like in a Seder, right? Because they're like, what is this?
I
I never
love
done this. What is
it.
karpas? What is what I mean? All the little nuances that it's so cool. And then you get it's great. The questions answered, and the kids involved, and I love
it
Pesach, as
It's,
you can tell,
I
is my
mean, from a
favorite
food
holiday.
standpoint, I can't say it's my
It's not
favorite, but it's up there. From the actual
right.
holiday
Well,
standpoint, it's
tell you,
definitely one of my favorite holidays.
yeah,
And this year it's going to be really special,
yeah,
especially people who have never celebrated Pesach, and there are a few because few people do contact me about, I want to put on tefillin. Where do I go buy a pair of tefillin? Or how do I? And that's something that I love doing because at the end of the day, whether we're fighting for Israel or for
man,
against anti-Semitism, number one is fight for your Judaism, fight for who what we are. And so this year, people who have never done it,
yeah,
and I know a few friends of mine. I'm like, you have to do it. It's so relevant. And obviously there's so much more in it, but there's the
yeah,
Vehishe Amda. I'm like, imagine everybody saying that. You're going to be sitting at the
yeah,
Seder, you're going to say, every generation, these anti-Semites tried to take me down, and here I am drinking 4 glasses of wine, getting wrecked, and enjoying myself with my family, right? And really living with our traditions. And so
exactly,
that's one thing I've been telling a lot of people who have never
exactly.
heard done
Love
Seders
that.
before. I'm like, you have to. Forget it. Go away. Don't go away. You have to do a Seder.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. See, I love that. I love that. But the funny thing is, hopefully this year, we'll get you on a good program and experience a good one. The food on the programs, man, you can't tell the difference sometimes. It's unbelievable, right? You mentioned like the food, but sometimes I mean some of this food is just like, really, this is not I mean it's not chametz, but I mean it's just you're eating pizza that's like, this tastes like pizza, you know. They do a good job, you know, really
Wow.
just, you know, getting it out there. You know, that's the thing about never-ending food. I don't know why sometimes they have this much, but it's like a full circle. Like everyone just talks about it. You know, if you don't watch your weight on Pesach,
Wow.
I mean, you're bound to come
Really?
back a couple pounds heavier. I know I
Really?
do. I'll be the
Honestly,
first one to
I'll
tell you.
be very
Yeah,
honest. I did not
it's
expect
unbelievable.
the food is going to be something to rave about, but wow, okay.
Oh, oh, unbelievable. Yeah, they don't. I think it's one of the, you know, when we survey, you know, in Passover listings, we talk to customers every day and travelers, right? And you know, we always ask people, like, why do you go away? Like, what's the number? What are the top three reasons you go away for Pesach programs every year, right? Number one, okay, to be, you know, with family and friends, right? Be with family, friends, meet people, meet new people, right? It's number one. Number two is the food. It's always the food. It's always, you know, I just, you know, love the food, want to go away, enjoy the food. And number three is like the programming, the entertainment, right? Just kind of like don't have to cook, you know, just you know, not having to cook, not having to clean, kind of just, you know, everything taken care of, which is nice. You know, you don't have to worry about that. It kind of saves time. And then you always realize, like, look, if you're going to cook for Pesach and clean and all that stuff, you're going to be spending you know, a lot of money. So it's like, what's the number that makes sense for your family to say, you know, maybe this year we'll take it easy, right? And we'll go away, or maybe this year we won't, and we'll enjoy it. You know, there's pros and
Yeah,
cons, I say, to every
100%. I mean, the
situation,
cooking, cleaning
right?
part, I know my
Um,
wife would be like, "Oh, thank you. I don't have to cook this year, right?" And I'm Syrian, so I don't help much with the cooking and cleaning part. I know a lot of people were like probably very turned off by
right.
that comment, but it's part of my culture. My wife, if she's listening, is gonna murder me later, but it's okay. She's used to it.
But I mean, you're Syrian, so you're open to, I mean, you would go to an Ashkenaz program without kitniyot, or would you only go and eat kitniyot? Like, do you
Oh
care
yeah,
about
yeah,
that, or
yeah,
because I
yeah.
know you
I
you
eat
eat rice
rice
or no?
on Pesach. I mean, but again, this is
Yeah,
what we're offered, right? So right, that's important to
yeah,
me. The food from a kidneyot
yeah,
standpoint, is it the most important make or
right,
break? No, but it is
yeah,
important to me. A Sephardic minyan is very important to me. That is make or break. I wouldn't
right,
go away on any holiday
yeah,
without a Sephardic minyan. I mean, even when we go regular vacations, you know, you're looking for
I,
shuls. You're looking for Pesach
yeah,
is that much more of an actual holiday that you want to be able to pray with prayers that you know. No,
yeah.
nothing. No offense to the Ashkenazi prayers, they're beautiful. I had my first
No,
Shabbat
no, no.
in an Ashkenazi style prayer last week or 2 weeks ago. For we went away, me and my wife, to Shabbaton, and that was very interesting. Beautiful prayers, but yeah, I need my Sephardic prayer for Pesach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, I went to when I was in Israel for the year years ago. You know, a large portion of my yeshiva was Syrian. So I used to, you know, I was very close with the Syrian community, you know, friends in my yeshiva. Then afterwards, they would invite me to dinners in Brooklyn and Deal, and I would be eating all this delicious food, this uh, kibbeh, lahmacun, Moroccan cigar. Oh, it was great. I mean, I was the J Dub, man.
The
All the way
honorary
up.
J Dub. The honorary J
I'm
Dub.
proud, man. Yeah, I'm the honorary J Dub, man. It was great. No, but you know, such a very vibrant, spiritual community. You know, just kind of, it was new. It was really interesting because like the different customs I was experiencing and traditions that you guys had, really, really amazing stuff. So
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Wow.
Just experiencing new things as
So,
well.
Ravi, you're
So
giving me a lot of
great,
information for the Pesach. And for the
great.
kids,
Yeah,
I saw they have a
yeah.
ton of programs for.
Oh yeah, yeah. The kids, man. I'll tell you this. I'll give you one. You know, when we went away, you know, last year, you know, the year before that, we it was a vacation. You know, when you're away, I have small kids. I don't know how old your kids are, but you know, when you go away, the biggest thing for your wife is the kids have a good time, right? And you know, you wanna just relax, maybe with a drink in hand, and just chill by the pool, maybe, or just relax, you know, have a good time. And if the kids are taken care of by and having fun, that's all that matters. And
Yeah,
I'll tell you, they were
sure.
having a blast, right? They are always entertained by one thing. It just never stop entertainment. It's nonstop. And then after they come back home, they're like, I want to go back to camp.
I,
I want
I
to go back.
I think
It's
you
just
told my
nonstop
wife. You
entertainment.
told my
So
wife.
it's
She just wrote to me, you better be booking a Pesach program. I'm like, okay.
we'll see. Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone should go if they can.
Yep.
But it was glad. Listen, I know it's we're at time here,
Very
but
nice.
this was such a great time to kind of get to know you and talk with you, Abraham. I
Thank
love what
you.
you're doing. I
Thank
mean,
you.
keep doing what you're doing. I think everyone's saying on here. All the comments are like, again, I'm just raw guy. Keep pushing this, out to the world and the masses, and we'll do the same. And
Amen.
together, we'll be in Israel soon.
Amen. That's it.
And
And
Lashana Haba,
Bezat Hashem,
Yerushalayim.
Lashana Haba Yerushalayim. That's 100% right. Thank you. And me and you are going to be in touch after to look at more programs.
We'll be in
Pleasure.
touch. Absolutely.
Pleasure.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon. A pleasure.